Welcome to the Summer Split episode 20 of the Euphoria podcast that is brought to you by ExpressVPN. You can go to expressvpn.com/LEC now and claim your 14-day free trial and subscribe to get a free Hextech chest and keys right now.
And you can catch this episode on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. And we have Jackies and Noah to bring us through all things GX, their journey over the course of the year, and also give us a little bit of spice for their expectations for playoffs.
Yeah, we had a great conversation with the boys, so let's just jump straight into it. Right, welcome, gentlemen. We have GIANTX joining us on the podcast today. We have Jackies and Noah. Thank you so much for coming. Of course, my name's Vedius, and I'm with Dagda, the one and only. How are you both doing?
I'm good. I'm actually more nervous than video series.
Really? Why are you nervous? What are you nervous about?
It's first time join podcast that speak English, So
That's true. That's very true. Well, we're excited to have you on the podcast and get your insights. It's going to be a lot of fun. Jackies, how you doing?
I'm doing perfect. I'm a bit tired, and I'm just here to watch what Noah says, honestly.
Yeah?
I'm full excited.
Either get him in trouble or get him out of trouble. We haven't decided yet.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, a little bit of both. All right, that's fair enough.
Is, yeah.
That's fair enough. How are you doing, Dagda?
I'm good. My voice is probably a bit shot after a 5-game series, but that was such a good series. So, I'm happy. It was great.
Let's start right there. We had Fnatic versus KOI. You both now know that you're playing against Fnatic in a best of 5 next week. What did you think of this series?
I didn't really watch the series fully, right? But I think from what I saw is that Fnatic were kind of comebacking almost every game, at least from what I saw.
Yeah.
And I think that Mickey and Oscar were kind of running it down, as they say. But I think Razork had a very good series, personally. I feel like he was saving the games and upset too. And that's about it. I feel like MKOI was just the better team.
Oh, that's very fair. What did you think, Noah?
For me, I think, I didn't watch Split 2, but I feel like we are really close to Fnatic now. So I think we can actually win after watching today's series.
That's a lot of confidence for sure. Of course, you used to play for Fnatic. When we had Fnatic on the podcast, we had Mickey and Upset. They told us that you were their bot lane duo partners that they would practice a lot against. And it was they that said that they think that you're one of the best bot lanes in the league. They said this back in spring. So can you tell us a little bit about your experience playing against the Fnatic bot lane?
I also think Fnatic bot is one of the best bot lane in the LEC. And honestly, we did a bit most with them. So we knew each other well. So it will be so fun series.
Yeah. Dagda, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that bot lane matchup. I think it's going to be sick. I hope Mickey, game 5 for Mickey, it was a little wonky. I'm hoping he's a bit more stable, so it's a bit more even. But I think you've been fantastic, Noah, when it comes to late game fights. And if you can get a lead, it feels like you can just pop off. So it feels like between yourself and Upset, so much attention is going to be going to that bot lane because it feels like whoever gets that lead is just going to be able to take over the series.
I think so too. I think, even in Scrims, officials, whoever win both feels like win games. So I completely agree with you. So it will be very lot of fun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned to me, Jackies, that you thought that KOI was just the better team today. What do you think makes them good? And why do you think it was a close series today like it actually was?
I think MKOI are kind of a fast team, in my opinion. And I think today, at least from what I saw, I think on lanes they were just kind of better. But I don't know why we went to 5 games, honestly. I think, to be fair, some drafts were a bit questionable, in my opinion. But I think just MKOI are just a faster team and Fnatic were not ready. But looks like they struggled, right? Since they came back 2 games, right? I think, or maybe even 3. But I don't know. It's hard to judge from the series.
Without giving too much away, because obviously you still have to play them, was there anything about Fnatic that surprised you today, or did it feel like it was kind of the same Fnatic that we saw in the regular season?
I wouldn't say so. I think it's kind of what we, even from us in scrims before, what we saw from Fnatic. I don't think there was something special, personally. It was just kind of just main carries, Upset and Poby, right? And just play from there, I guess. I don't think they have a specific or any insane game plan or something. So it was kind of what we expected, yeah.
So tell us more about that mid lane matchup, because we can all agree Group A was harder than Group B. Okay,
Yeah.
We can all agree. I think that I think there's an argument to be made that that maybe even the fight for second would have been pretty interesting in Group B if either you or Vitality were in that group. But given that you've had the opportunity to play a bunch against Jojo on stage, and you've also had the opportunity to play, I mean, I assume you've played against Poby a bunch in scrims.
Yeah.
What do you think about both mid laners? And can you tell us a little bit about what you expect in the matchup against Poby next week?
Well, I feel like against Jojo, especially laning against him, I feel he's always gonna skill check you no matter what. But Poby is more on the structure-based laner, like about waves and stuff. But there's like two kind of different mid laners, but they both play aggressive. So it's a bit similar, but there's no more against Poby. There isn't like skill checks, I would say. It's just you kind of need to be smarter. But yeah, I mean, sometimes I'm not smarter. I'm gonna be honest.
We've all been there.
So I will have to get that ready for Poby, and it's not a mid laner that I should disrespect. I would say that.
That's fair. I feel like, Noah, for you, when you play against a team like MKOI or you play against a team like Fnatic, it's less about the actual bot lane 2v2 and it's more like the jungler that kind of ruins your day.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you think about playing against Elioya and Razork?
I mean, I think they're quite playing around the bot like a lot. So, I mean, yeah, I will bring Isma to bot and just fist fight against them. This time will be different, I hope. So, yeah.
And how is your relationship going with Isma? Because of course he joined the team this year, and how is that going?
I mean, at this point, I think we are really close, like as a friendship, you know, like
That's
we are
good.
just calling us dog each other. So,
Sounds very friendly.
Oh no, I mean we get it. You should hear the nicknames Dagda have for each other. It's crazy.
Unfortunately, it's not safe for it.
No, but that's great to hear. So do you guys feel that the synergy within GIANTX is kind of at an all-time high right now?
Yeah, I think our synergy got way better. I think we are the team that most improve, like, and understand each other, and we are talking a lot to each other. So I think it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Noah. I think we, not even in game, I think as like friends, or not friends, but like people together, I think we bonded way more than from Spring, since we have time with Isma now, right? So yeah, I think right now we are kind of peaking, I would say. Yeah.
That's very good. So we've gotten a little bit of your insight about both MKOI and Fnatic, but we've got to talk a little bit about what's happening behind the scenes, because I don't know how much you guys watch the broadcast, but we've been talking about these Scrim rumors all split long, okay? Because the famous GIANTX in Scrims, we need to hear it from yourselves. What is the truth and what is happening in Scrims? Because supposedly GIANTX has the greatest Scrim record that we've seen ever.
Yeah, I mean, then I think I can start. I mean, before summer start, we were playing like, I mean, there were not MKOI and G2, so we were playing like Fnatic, KC, and other AC teams. That time we had like almost 90% win rate with like 20% streak. But these days, we are playing only against top 4 teams like all Vitality. Then like we had only like 60 or 65%, you know. So
Right.
it's not that high, but I think yeah, we are better on scrims, I think. Yeah.
So what happened? Why don't we see that same win rate on stage?
Honestly, we are like 9 win 4 losing on stage. So
I mean, we are not doing bad on
Of
stage,
course.
but I don't know. The thing is, we from us as GX, I think we kind of translated our scrims to officials, even the ones we threw, because actually that week in scrims we were perma throwing, and then we did it on stage too. So at least we are playing like in scrims,
That's fair.
right?
That's
so,
very fair. Yeah.
What do you think clicked for you guys that allowed you to bring what was happening in scrims to the main stage? Because like I think you guys your summer has been insane. It looks so good.
I mean, it's hard to say because, like, personally, I don't feel like we changed anything, right? But I think it's just that we all got comfortable with each other and understood. I think Isma is a big part of it and understood kind of his play style in a way, which is like very aggressive on how he wants to play. And we were just doing that on stage with like no fear, kind of. And we realized that it's actually winning games, right? And then it's same game as scrims and we can actually practice way better. So I would say just going to the game with no fear kind of helped, yeah.
It's been nice to see Isma find an environment where he can succeed, because obviously when he first joined the league, it felt like that he didn't have the greatest of performances. So I have to imagine that going from a team like SK to GIANTX, there would be some pressure on his shoulders. But now he seems to have really found his footing, and his series against BDS, like, I mean, I thought that he just completely outclassed the opposition, and you guys looked super clean against BDS. But didn't you guys also say going into that series that like scrims historically have been very good against BDS as well?
I mean, I think against BDS in beginning of summer, I think we were like 17-1 maybe. So
Wow.
we're pretty confident to play against them, yeah, for sure.
Right.
It was in the beginning of the season, not to the end. I don't even remember if he scrimmed BDS after, but yeah, for sure, there was a lot of confidence from that. Yeah.
So run us through kind of what happened in that series, because for us, one of the biggest things we wanted to see was in the mid game. That's where our biggest criticisms have come from, where sometimes you guys make that overextension, sometimes you get caught, the game starts to get crazy, and the games can be thrown. But you looked insanely clean. So what do you guys felt was different in this BDS series?
I mean, I think we already knew like that's our like most weakness. Like randomly get caught, or like we do focus like usually things, like our follow kills. So we were format talking that like every day, every day screens, like every day after screens. So I think we got better on that. So that's why it showed the finally on stage, I think. Yeah.
Because it was you that said in the pre-game interview, we have to be careful of not getting bored, I believe was the quote.
Yeah, and I feel like I didn't listen to myself a bit in the series. I'm gonna be honest. I was kind of running it. But yeah, I mean, if there was a runner in our team, it was for sure me. I think that series was
I remember actually in the cast game too, I think I said like, I wonder if he's finding the boredom right now.
Yeah, I have to say it was not the most disciplined series by me, I have to say. So that was a bit unfortunate. But yeah, I don't know. It's might come from ego, might come from the confidence, but I don't know. When we played game 1, I played Azir against Ziggs against Nuke. I remember I dodged like 11 Qs on the lane, and I was like, in my head, for some reason, I just could not lose that game. So I was just going for random stuff, perma dying, and actually made the game kind of harder than it should be.
Right.
So yeah, I just didn't listen to myself. I'm not really proud of the series, even though we stomped. So I'm proud this guy could carry at least. So, so yeah.
I mean, you definitely had a great series. Like, does the ego affect you in the same way that it can sometimes affect Jackies, or when you have like 7 kills, does it not really matter?
I mean, for me, it doesn't matter because I think, yeah, I mean, I don't have much ego. So.
That's not true.
Now this is what we want. So tell us the truth, Jackies. What's it like playing with Noah?
Okay. For me, if we are winning Scrim, this guy ego is through the roof. Yeah. But when his ego is through the roof, he's actually the best player, I think. So I mean, even from last year, like Noah is a very confident player, for me at least. And I think I can see it now, right? When we are doing good in scrims, good on stage, he thinks he can beat everyone, and I think he can actually beat everyone. So, and he's proving it. So I'm happy.
Well, I remember the Fnatic era. You talked quite openly about how difficult social media was for you, and you took a big step back from it in order to focus on yourself. How do you feel that you're managing all that now, and how you're doing?
I mean, I think I was like really hardworking about that, like 2 picks. And I think now when I play on stage, I'm more comfortable. I think I'm actually playing better on stage than scrims, So I think it actually helped me. But like against Fnatic series will be my biggest challenge, because against Fnatic I'm usually playing worse because it was my own team. So yeah, it will be. We will see, We will see.
And what do you think that mental block is? Because you still got friends on Fnatic, or is it just like you feel like you need to prove something against Fnatic?
I think it was just I didn't have like confidence in myself. Like I didn't sure myself, But now I know myself, and I got so much confidence by my coaches and players, So yeah. I think I can actually beat anyone now.
Yeah, I mean, it's showing. You literally set the record for most kills, right? So it's going well.
I'm also really happy to hear that for you. Like, I know that mental health journeys can be really difficult for a lot of people, so it's really happy to hear that you're doing really well now. And
thank you.
Seeing that confidence on stage is also great to see. When it comes to this matchup versus Fnatic specifically, obviously you guys can't only share so much with us, but we're still going to ask you questions anyway. To see how much we can get out of you. So for us, when I think about that matchup, naturally we think the bot lane becomes the focus. So that means that Lod is going to be on Sion, Oscar's going to be on Cassante, and top will be irrelevant as the junglers focus on bot lane. Do you guys have a similar feeling, or what are your thoughts on your expectations for the matchup?
I mean, honestly, similar because I know Fnatic is a full bot team, so
That's that is true. Razork does occasionally visit the bot lane, one could say.
I think you mean he occasionally visits his jungle from the bot lane.
Yeah, that's very, very true. But yeah, like, is there anything that you're watching out for when you're playing against Fnatic specifically? Because again, like all splits, we haven't seen you play against them. You only know what you've got from scrims and from what we see on stage. But is there anything that you're worried about or anything you're thinking about when playing in that best of 5?
I mean, I think I agree with Noah, actually. I think the series might be fully around bot because I feel like now since Humanoid left, I feel like their mid game is kind of weaker, in my opinion, and their strength is actually from lane. And if that team is ahead from lane, yeah, then they will probably stomp you, right? I think that's the strength of Fnatic for like 2 years, no matter the roster. But yeah, I think now it's just gonna be around bot lane. I think we have a stat from Razork pathing. It's like 12 out of 12 on bot or something like that. So, yeah, I kind of agree with Noah. I think whoever wins bot will just probably win the series.
Fair enough. So when we look at like the upper bracket as well, because we got a lot of great context on that. You got to see quite. Did you guys watch the G2 KC series yesterday?
Yes,
Yeah.
So what do you think about that matchup between G2 and KOI? Do you think that there is a clear strongest in Europe right now?
I mean, I think G2 just stomp.
You think they'll just stomp?
Yes. I mean, I'm saying compared to from scrims, you know. So I think.
Right.
I mean, G2 was the hardest to beat in scrims, so I think they're gonna win.
Can you give more context as to why they were so tough?
It's
fine if you don't want to. It's all okay. It's okay.
I mean, I feel like G2 is just harder, you know.
They're just tougher.
Yeah.
That's completely fair. All right. I mean, that's fair enough. Would you have any thoughts on that series as well?
I mean, I think, I agree with Noah, right? Because we are the same scrims, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's going officials, right? I don't feel like you can ever like disregard them. I feel like they can always pull it out, and it's gonna be in Madrid, no? Right?
No, that matchup will be next Monday.
Oh, I thought
the
it was
winners
Madrid.
match. Yeah, because so you can see the bracket. Basically, the winner of that match, the winner will move to the finals, and then the loser will move into like the semi-finals. And then in order for you guys to qualify to Madrid, you have to beat Fnatic, and then you have to beat the winner of KC Vitality, and then that will happen. Unless I'm
For that one, we are in Madrid already, I think. From what I've been told.
I think,
that one will be in Madrid.
Yeah.
And then that one is for the race to Worlds as well.
Yeah, so the reason MKOI and G2 are guaranteed Madrid is because even if they lose, they still go to Madrid by going to the lower bracket, and then otherwise they just go straight to finals.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, then I missed on that one. Then I think G2 will win.
Yeah.
I think in MKOI they could have the Madrid buff. Wait, what? MKOI and Madrid would have the MKOI. What am I saying?
MKOI will get the Madrid buff.
That one,
Yeah.
that one. You got
But
me.
we have seen G2 fumble in finals before. Like, it's literally happened
Yeah.
twice this year.
True.
So do you believe that you guys can upset them?
I think so. I mean, if we go finals, it means like we beat everyone, you know. So I think we will have so much competence that make difference for sure.
That's very fair. How many times have you met G2 in a final, Noah?
4 times and.
But
Don't say the rest.
Wow.
Don't say the rest.
I mean, I don't need to say this. It's okay.
yeah, no. I actually didn't know the stat. I'm kind of surprised how ready you had the I'm sorry to bring that up.
Nice, man.
But,
you're a new man though now. New man. Yeah.
New man, new team. Exciting to watch. All right, so thank you for recapping that stuff with us. The community did throw a bunch of questions towards both of you. So we're going to look through some of what the questions were. Some of them are really friendly. Some of them are tough. We'll see how they go. So the first one is for Jackies from @Jaku Bo Fulton 1959.
Jakob Fulton, 1959.
There we go. That's why you're hit. Thank you, Dagda. For Jackie. So he's got 2 questions, one for Jackie's, one for Noah. We'll start with the Jackie's question. Do you feel like a true team leader at this point, or do you rather share the calls with other people?
I wouldn't say like a full-on team leader because I feel like Isma is a very, very high volume person. So it's kind of not hard to be a leader next to that, but to like share it with him in a way, right? I mean, I wouldn't call myself a full-on leader yet, but it's something I want to be, and so yeah, I'm working on it. And right now, I wouldn't say so. I think I'm sharing the thing with Isma.
Because when we think about GIANTX and we think about this roster, I often think about how it was kind of built around you in many ways. do you feel a sense of pressure of needing to be a leader? Or do you think with Isma coming in, it's now actually easier for you to just do your thing?
I mean, a little bit of both. I wouldn't say it's a pressure to be a leader because it's something I always like wanted to be in a way. Like I feel like that's something I want to be. So I wouldn't say it was like a pressure, but it's I think it's easier with Isma. Not like not that I would like let him do everything, of course, but it's like good that I can rely on him to make sure stuff is like not going weird, in my opinion, like in the team, right? So yeah,
that's super fair. All right, so there is also a part of a question for Noah. So Noah, the question for you is, what do you think is the reason why sometimes it's hard for GX to transfer the scrims form to official games? Now, we did talk about this a little bit earlier, but how do you feel about transitioning your scrim performance onto your stage performance?
I mean, I think we are like weak adopting, you know, like because in scrims we always almost get lead by from laning or swaps or something like only, but sometimes some stage is like different, you know. So if we are even, but we are still playing like same as scrims, so like yeah, it's just adopting, I think. So we were trying to adopting in scrims that, so I think we showed better, you know. We showed better.
Yeah.
And what is that kind of conversation like? Is it a, hey, we want to be more aggressive and do more dives, or we want to invade more? Or is it like, hey, I'm just willing to go for an outplay on the bottom lane and win the lane? Like, what does that kind of translate as in that way?
I mean, like if you are like even, then like it's more harder to go invade or like fight than when we are ahead, you know. I think that's like main reason, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for the insight. Let's jump on to the next question from @DKY Metal. Oh, it's @Adri Apps. Why did the ats? They're always GX is one step below the top 4 and clearly better than the rest. What do you think you should get better at to be a contender for the title?
I mean, from me at least, it's like it's kind of what I always say is the consistency, in my opinion, because I feel like we are a team that can wake up and beat anyone. We can also wake up and lose to anyone. So it's just about just being consistent, and I mean, simple to say, right? But we are trying to like kind of fix it for the whole year, and we are on a good track. So yeah, I'm happy with where it's going.
What do you think, Noah?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I actually agree, you know. Like I think, I mean, in scrims like same, you know. Someday like we are just beating everyone, but some days we are even losing against like weakest team in this, you know. So I think I fully agree with you. You don't remember or what?
We didn't really scrim them in a long time. So
At one time, you know.
yeah, true.
I do think you guys are being a little bit humble though, because genuinely, like I think the thing I've enjoyed watching you guys the most in summer is like the small improvements that you can see in your play. It's like how you guys have been playing side lanes in the mid game, how you set up objectives, like the team fighting and how that kind of cohesiveness. And you kind of spoke a little bit about like how working with Isma and understanding how he wants to play the game has helped in the early game. But I think like it's actually been the understanding of what you're supposed to be doing in the mid game has actually been the most impressive part to me. And I think it's cool to see like there's finding consistency and kind of finding that stuff. But I think it also shows that there is a huge amount of work that is going in on all these different parts, and you are finally starting to get that to click. And for me, that's the coolest part. And I think that's the part that has begun to separate you guys into like the top bracket and then everyone else below you. Is just like you really, the whole squad seems to have finally understood like how you want to approach a mid game and approach the late game.
Yeah, I mean, I think the main reason for that it changed is kind of the, like, especially for me, right? Side laning was not the strong suit of mine. I wouldn't say it is yet, but I'm way better at it than before. And it's also because I feel like last year I had Antonio, right? So it was a full tank player. So basically, any wave there is on a side, I should go.
Yeah.
But now I have Lot that's actually kind of taking the strong side sometimes. So in the beginning, I was a bit like lost on what to do because I was used to where there's a wave, I go. But it doesn't really work like that anymore. So, and yeah, coming with Isman, that we could be finally a full split together and not the beginning of spring. Then we all kind of synced up about side, and we can bring everyone together, and it's way easier than before. Yeah, for sure.
Because I really agree with Dagda that the thing that impressed me the most in your BDS series was how you seamlessly transitioned from objective to objective. The thing that worried me was kind of what you were saying, Noah, was I remember in the Vi game, there was one time where you kind of forced a fight around bot river. I don't think there were even any objectives up, and it was kind of a close, sketchy fight. And my question for you guys is, how this concept of like playing when ahead, do you feel that sometimes it just gets the better of you? Like, how do you control that and how do you stop that from getting in the way of your own success sometimes?
You want to answer?
You can.
I mean, depends, right? It's just for me, as I said, that I wasn't disciplined in the series, right? I think that's the most important part. You, even though you are ahead, you feel like you're Thanos on the Rift, right? So you can do whatever you want.
I see.
But there is still some chokes in the game, even if you are 10k down, which we sadly took against MKOI, and we lost Soul and we just lost the game. If there's a good team that can punish you and knows the chokes that you just cross, that you cannot really team fight from there, the goal doesn't really help you anymore. You're just too far and you will just die. So it's just being knowledgeable about that and making sure you don't, as you said, get ahead of yourself and just feel like you're Thanos everywhere. Yeah.
And after seeing Fnatic have a couple of comebacks today, does that now worry you against Fnatic, or do you think you're just going to have it? You just smooth it over?
I mean, it's something we are working on the whole year, almost. Not year, I guess, because of ISMA, but the whole split is just because we've been getting leads kind of the whole split, like no matter scrims and officials. And yes, I just hope the work that we are doing will not go to waste, right? Because, yeah, that's it.
I mean, like, we have some trauma that, like, MKOI is reset, like, we almost won game and withdrew, so, like, it's on our head. So we will make sure that it will not happen again against Fnatic series, I hope.
It's good that you mentioned, because we brought the stats up too. You guys have some of the best early objective stats, objective control in, like, your first blood percentage is something ridiculous in the league. You guys often, I think grubs is the only thing that you're slightly worse at, but even then you have like in 66% of your games, you always get first grubs.
Oh.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Even when you don't move. No,
yeah.
Actually, like it, yeah.
You guys are very good at playing around your early objectives. And our only criticism of you guys has very much been when you get to mid game, it feels like you've got a very clear game plan of what to do in early. And I mean, I was watching, I don't know how much you guys listen to Cadro at all, but he thought that you guys were the best swapping team in the league at the start of summer, just because you guys had the best awareness of knowing at what time to actually send your bot to top, when to even keep the swaps going, how to match up, how to read your opponent. And I feel like now that's translating really well. And so when I think about the gap between you and the top teams, ultimately it is that mid game and whether or not you can hold on to that lead, because as you're right, it's cool in concept when everything is going your way, but I think of a team like G2 that something that, fun fact, Deficio used to tell me many years ago is like, the good teams will always test you. They'll always ask you like, okay, you're trying to do this, but I'm going to make sure that you do it properly. Do you feel like our top teams are very good at making sure that you understand your fundamentals and are good at testing you?
I mean, I think it depends on the player, right? I think, for example, Caps and kind of Mickey are the CEOs of this. They will just, let's say you're trying to make a play on a side, right? Even they are alone, they will just click on you and see, like, okay, if you want to kill me, you can kill me, but you're scared, so you won't. But I mean, today for Mickey, it didn't work because he was actually getting punished for it, right?
Exactly.
There's the fake pressure coming in. And yeah, I mean, I think sometimes, I don't think for us it works like that, but I can also see when I'm reviewing a Gen G game or even a G2 game, I feel like the name works, honestly, in this. Like, when there is Genji Chovy clicking on you, like, I can see the lower LCK teams are just running, Even if it's 1v5, they're just running.
There's that one Corky game where he just, like, Valkyries into 4 people.
Yeah,
and they all just run away. You're like,
I'm
what?
so sorry. So, yeah, it just depends on that. I mean, yeah, it's just the fake pressure. I think that the best teams use the best. And they kind of know what can they do and they cannot. So, yeah.
That's very fair. Anyway, that was a bit long-winded on the question here, but thank you so much for your insight. So we do have a question for Noah from @Chorizo Assassino.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Excellent, great. So for Noah, they wanted to know how well are you managing the pressure and how much pressure can you have in GIANTX compared to Fnatic?
I mean, honestly, for me, like, always competition is like it's similar. Maybe like, I mean, I must say, I think it's because now I don't focus on result. I mean, it's not about team, but like I don't focus on result. I'm focusing on like, how to say, like actually, like
what you're learning and how you can grow and that kind of
yeah,
thing.
like
You're just focusing on what's in front of
oh
you.
yeah, like focusing on how much I can show or like do my best every day and see result. Because in Fnatic, I always wanted to research, win LEC or like doing good on international or something. But now I'm just trying to my best every day, scrim unofficial, and try to like focus myself that being good condition, keep mental. I think that helps me a lot. I think. Yeah.
So being on Fnatic, it sounds like it felt like that you were focusing on the results.
Yeah.
But in GIANTX, it feels like you're just focusing on yourself. Right?
Yes.
All right, that makes a lot
It
of
sounds
sense.
like you're someone who puts a lot of pressure on themselves, though. Like,
Yeah.
regardless of, I know there was a lot of talk about the social media and that, but it sounds like you put a huge amount of pressure on yourself to, one, achieve a lot, but also do a lot within a game. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you manage that then when it can be overwhelming, where maybe you don't live up to those results you've set for yourself, or whatever that day has not gone well for you?
I mean, I was trying to make routine that people games, so like every day people sleep, and I think it actually helps. And I mean, it's like this, like if you are getting pressure, like it means like you are focusing like other things, like you are thinking other things during game, like or something, because it happens a lot to me. So I was trying to avoid that, avoid or like fix,
Okay.
So it actually worked now. So
Okay.
yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah.
That's really awesome to hear. All right, we do have one more question for Jackies from at Pedro Penam Endoza.
I think they're doing this on purpose.
They are
too,
doing this on purpose. Jackies, in the beginning of winter of this year, you were clearly the best player in your team. So they're a fan. And now in summer, I feel like every GIANTX player has grown enormous, and you have not grown as much as the others. Has it been a difficult year, or has the motivation something been hard to find? And then they did say much love from an Urgot main, and they're expecting to see you in Madrid.
I mean, I wouldn't say even in winter I was the best player in the team. I think the thing is, in winter I think I was just perma playing kind of the game, so I think I just came the best prepared in a way. So I guess from that I maybe seemed so, but I think it's a bit hard to judge because I also think the players I have next to me are also very insane, right? So, but I think from my side at least, I think I improved a lot on maybe things that I guess they just don't show on camera or on the games. I think from before, when I was perma dying on side, I think that got 10 times better, and it's not a meme anymore, I hope.
Yep.
So, and I think my laning was not also the strongest point, and I think now I'm laning fine against legit almost everyone. So I think maybe I'm not the flashy player I was that before, but there's also the discipline talk, right? If like I was kind of inting in the beginning, I think, but I was, at the same time I was making big plays. So now I'm like more trying to be disciplined. So yeah, slowly getting there. So of course I'll be the best player in the team at the end of summer, of course. But yeah, I'm also glad I'm next to very good players, right? So yeah.
And what's the improvement that you've made this year that you're most proud of?
I would say my side laning, even though I'm still sometimes kind of dying, I think the understanding of side laning for me is for sure the most thing I'm happy about. Even like the simple concepts as warding or when to push, when to freeze. Even though it sounds simple, I think it's something I was missing before, and I think it helped me a lot of no matter on like what happens on lane, just being good in the game, which a lot of times before I was just completely out of it from lane and I just couldn't find a comeback. And now I go to 15 minutes and I can, no matter what happened on lane, I can kind of come back into the game and be useful. So I think probably that.
And like, just in case there's someone listening at home who wants to try and improve that, what are some of the tools or things that you've used to improve at that skill?
I mean, just a lot of kind of work, right? You need to play the game a lot. I think obviously you need to I think watch the best players that do it, right? I think by far Chove is the best, right, in keeping or like being good in the game if he's 12 CS per minute every game for no reason. So there's for sure something to it, and also to not be kind of scared to just like, because side laning is a lot about fake pressure too, in my opinion, and sometimes you need to be scared to go into 1v2s and like make them threatened in a way, right? So of course sometimes it will backfire and you will die. Happens to me a lot these days, but yeah, just don't be scared, I guess.
Yeah.
One of the big things I keep hearing from a lot of teams is this topic of consistency. And I mean, it's an easy thing to bring up, right? Because when I think of all of our top teams, especially when like the conversation of international is very common. And so it's always like, how do we compete internationally with the best teams? And for me, it's one of those things where like, if we could just be a little more consistent, where the things where we stop making those silly mistakes, where we can execute on our game plan well, where we know clearly what we want in our drafts, then sure, we can compete with the best. I believe we have the talent to compete with the best. But help me understand where this lack of consistency comes from. Because obviously you guys have talked to me a little bit about sometimes you get bored. Okay, that's one potential reason. Sometimes like it can be a matter of you don't realize that you're overextended. Sometimes it can just be a crazy play. But what do you guys think is like Europe's consistency problem from your perspective?
I mean, honestly, people say constants. I mean, you need the basic, like basic laning or like team fight mechanics, because I think we are the team that like have that like top 4 team, that good laning, good mechanics, like good team fight. That's why we can say consistent. But I think against like Asian teams like HK LPL, they have like really good basics, So like you said, even we are consistent, we can't like easy win them, We need to be more good on the basic. That's why we are saying constant, But I think I think yeah, it's around it,
I completely agree with you. Like, I think your comment on the basics are true, because I think that you described Poby earlier, that he's kind of like a smart player, right? He plays strict to his values, but it seems to net him consistent results. Whereas Jojo's the type of guy, and Caps in the same vein, they'll test you, right? They'll push you to your absolute limits. So, what are your thoughts on this concept of consistency?
I mean, for me, it's like I agree with Noah with the basics, but at the same time, I think I've heard someone say it here before. I think it was Alvaro or someone, that the best teams in, like, even if you watch their votes or you even watch them on the streams, they are making a decision like insta, right? Like no matter what, they are making a decision, and it's rarely kind of the best play in the moment. And I think us in EU, I mean, yesterday I was a G2 KC series, and I saw KC like running around Atakan or something, like for 1 minute, didn't know what to do, they just went as 5 and they just died.
Yeah.
So I think there's like, the inconsistency is like everyone's just undecisive in EU sometimes, and I think the Asian teams are not. Like I feel like when I'm watching them, they, even when they make a play that's on paper bad, they just make it instantly as 5, and it's sometimes good. So I would say probably that's like the biggest thing from what I think.
Yeah, I think it's a great point, but then my question is, how do we get better at playing fast? Because I know that KOI, they talk about it a lot, and it was cool today that you mentioned that you thought that they were in fact playing faster, just being more decisive. And I will say that watching you guys play against BDS, I mean, obviously the context of the opposition is important, but you guys knew exactly when you wanted the Dragon, you knew exactly when you wanted the Herald. You were just like, we're ready, we're setting up, we're making our plays. So how do we get better at that as a region?
I mean, it's hard to judge, right? But I mean, if it comes to decisiveness or something like that, you just kind of have to go for it, right? But the problem is, I think in EU, in a lot of teams, I'm even watching the comms, right? But I think the only team that I see is not doing it is kind of G2. Like everyone kind of talks too much, in my opinion. It's like they're talking about the play. I mean, it happens to us too many times. And someone is like, are you sure? I don't know. Is it good? Is it bad? And then like the play is over, and enemy team is already making a play, which I think, of course, I don't know LCK, LPL voice comms, but I feel like they don't talk. They just say, okay, go bot, go top, but that's it. And everyone knows what to do, So I think how to get better at it as a region, I don't know. Maybe play muted or something. Just use pings, I guess. I don't know.
Someone told me about that. It was, I want to say it was Odo, but it could have been anyone.
I think it was Odo.
But he told us that like the environment was so bad in a team that he was on. I want to say it was H2K many years ago. I shouldn't put words in his mouth, but he was on a really poor, make stuff up. He was on a really bad team environment where they actually had to play scrims muted, and they had better results as a result of that. But yeah, it's really interesting how having 5 really smart players along with 5 really mechanical players, you'd sit there and think, yeah, that sounds fantastic. But I imagine that when you join the LEC, because as this kind of question was alluding to, kind of your growth as a player, I imagine you didn't come in and immediately actually, what was it like for you, I guess? How smart did you think you were? How good did you think you were? How confident were you relative to the league of LEC when you first joined?
I mean, mechanically, I think I was when I went to first few scrims in LEC, I think mechanically I was like pretty good. I don't think it was that of a difference. I think when I came into the league, I was mechanically very good, but I think sometimes I was just being very stupid. I remember my first game of LEC. We played against Vitality, and I played Nico. And at 35 minutes, I decided to go on first creep as a Nico and see what happens. Of course, that would work in Czech League, which I was playing before. But yeah, Hylissang insta-flashed on me and I just died. And I almost lost the game. But then, so I think, I don't know, I wasn't the smartest. Of course, that comes with experience, right? And I think I had a lot of help personally. That's, I think, a lot from my growth that I was able to play against next to so much experienced players like Odo, Ignar, even Patrick, right? I think, and now I have Gilotto as a coach, which is a very experienced coach. So I think I could like skyrocket my knowledge about that, just taking stuff from them, and yeah.
And how do you feel about like your development as a player? We've obviously heard a lot about your kind of issues in terms of getting sometimes in your own head about how you play, but you've got international experience alongside Fnatic. You've played against some of the best teams in the world, and for you must be eager to get back. And how do like you see yourself on the world stage as a player?
Yeah, I think it's like, yeah, I mean, I agree with Chicks. Like, I think it's similar that I think I learned a lot from like Marek, like Humanoid, or like Lajok, or like someone experienced players, you know, because when I joined Fnatic, I think I was stupid too. And when I went international 3 times in Fnatic and played against like best team and in scrims and on stage. And I think I learned really many things from them. So I think I got improved a lot, yeah.
Was it like a crash course for you? Because you just came in and you were already going straight into internationals. Like, what was that experience like?
I mean, honestly, it was my dream, you know, like, because when I came here, my first goal was go LEC to Worlds, you know, and yeah, I mean, I was quite happy actually. It was fine, you know, it was fine. Yeah. It was good, yeah.
It's cool that you hear, I'm hearing you praise your experience with Humanoid, because I also know that there's a bit of a good relationship when we saw you and Humanoid playing against each other. So what is that relationship between you and Humanoid?
I don't know. I feel like it's just a Czech thing, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like Czech people just like each other. Maybe sometimes a bit too much because I'm next to Karzy in the office now, so I say a bit too much.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. It's like I feel like he's just a very friendly guy, and from the second that we played into each other, he came to me, and I thought of Humanoid as a, like, in Czech, he's kind of from mid lane especially, he's kind of the Czech legend in a way, right? So I thought it was very nice. He just came to me and said something dumb. So I said, like, it was very nice to know that he's just a normal person, right? And from that on, we just were very friendly to each other. Yeah.
I mean, we learned before the podcast that he was trolling Noah a little bit. We will not tell that story. But it's it's really awesome to hear that type of relationship exists with you guys. Thank you so much for answering all of these Twitter questions, and thank you for deep diving a little bit more. We do have to talk about the rest of the bracket a little bit. We have touched on it a little bit, but we gotta add some stakes, because of course we are on a podcast, and that means that now everything that you say will be held against you for the rest of your lives. So thinking about these matchups, we'll do you last because, well, I have a feeling I know what direction you're gonna go. Let's start with Vitality versus KC. Be honest, are these teams good? Vitality, KC, what are we thinking?
I mean, they're like, of course, good teams. But I think now, honestly, compared to scrims, I think Vitality will win.
Really?
Yes.
Just based on your scrim experience?
Yes. I mean, I'm saying, or from scrims.
We screwed them today, basically.
Yeah.
So it went well.
Well, it sounds like it went bad. Yeah. It sounds like Vitality may have a winning record against GIANTX now.
Vitality might be the best team in the world.
They might be the best. Macro geniuses, lane dominance.
Geniuses,
Yeah.
They're changing now.
Micro, we cannot play.
Did Karzy just get in your heads?
Actually, not Karzy, he was running it.
But can we talk about this? So, do you guys know that we see the all chat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because so that was on purpose what you wrote in the all chat against BDS.
Well, exactly. Because I wrote a lot of stuff, I think.
Because I remember, so Nuke was writing, that CS diff is crazy.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And then Hugh hit him back with, at least you can leave with a positive for today.
Yeah. I mean, it's a mental warfare in the
I
chat. you know,
understand
like-
it. We should get more of that. Please
think
keep
so.
typing in all chat. I really want to see you BM Fnatic. Please, no. I think that would be fantastic.
I mean, I'm doing sometimes in screens, but on stage like this.
But I would love it if Razok tries to gank you and then you're like, nice try, or like, thanks for the visit.
Just drop a question mark, you know?
Oh, the question mark is the
Actually,
strongest mental damage.
Actually, I will try. I think large request is weak mental, so
Just 0 out of 1 every time he fails.
all right. So Vitality currently favored versus Casey. So they've got the scrim data, but you've only got the stage games. What are your thoughts, Dagda?
I think it's a little hard. I want KC to look like they did in winter, right? And I think that's what everyone's kind of holding out hope for, is that we're going to get them to kind of figure it all out and bring it all back together. But I don't know how they will, is the honest answer. I think the meta has kind of shifted away from where Vladdy feels comfortable in some of the situations. Like I don't think he looks as comfortable on, say, like the Annie or Galio as he does on like Victor or Talia or something like this, right? So I think the mid lane matchup is going to be a little bit like, I think, like not difficult. I think it's just, I don't think it's going to fit him as well. And then I think Vitality looked very good against Heretics. I still think there's questions for me when it comes to Vitality. I think they've looked a lot better, but
them.
that's the question. That is basically the question. I think yes. Like I think the person that surprised me actually the most is like Fleshy. I think Fleshy's looked really good. I think the Pike games have been a bit hit or miss, but I think he's actually been really solid on basically everything else. And I think he's been a great addition to Vitality. And I think he's helped them out a lot in like where they need to be on the map, like him being in the position that he needs to be. Linces is popping the hell off. This guy looks absolutely insane. So I think if you can have both Linces and Fleshy playing it all, like doing really well, and Linces can contain Yike, I think that's where Vitality can shine. But I think it's always hard to doubt KC when at times they just turn it on and their team fighting looks incredible,
100%.
right? So I think this is a lot closer than I will give it than I would have thought it would have been at the start of the split. Because I really do feel like Vitality have ramped up over the course of the time.
So you guys talked a little bit about how we're expecting it to be bot focused in the Fnatic versus GX matchup. I feel like that KC versus Vitality could be quite top focused.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, you think so?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like Kana versus Nak, right? I think both of these players are not fully on carrying their teams, but I feel like they are a very big impact almost in every single game. So, yeah, I mean, I would agree that also it's like a very top-centric game, yeah.
And what's your experience playing against both bot laners? Because obviously you've played against both Kalista and...
You mean Vitality and KC?
Yeah.
I think actually Kalist is like really good mechanically and like aggressive. I think he has so much competence. So whenever I played against him, like he's like so aggressive, you know. So it was actually, yeah. I think, but I realized that now sometimes it was fake. But, but I think he's still like really good player, you know. And I think Karaji too. Like Karaji is similar. Like he's really aggressive players and trying to make something so many times, like 1v1 or like do something, move, like, you know. So like he's like, I don't know, it's good to say, but it's like creative player, like, you know.
Creative player.
Yeah.
Like for me, like I cannot expect what he will do, you know. So
He's unpredictable.
yeah, but I think both Vitality and KC supports are. I think Jun is way better, you know. So.
Shout out Jun.
The bot lane go. Okay, yeah. And what talk to me about these mid laners? Because like a big talking point for KC for us on the broadcast has been about how Vladdy doesn't seem like himself. At the beginning of the year, he was in the conversation for best mid in the league. He won the finals MVP, superstar that was even performing internationally. He was drawing Victor bans against like HLE, for example. And now, right now, it feels like that he just doesn't have that same threat. What do you feel? What's your experience?
I mean, I think for Vladdy, he's always a dangerous player, right? I mean, you don't want to give this guy a lead because I feel like he will kind of carry the game if he does so. But for me, the problem is that he's not getting the leads anymore as he used to, I think, before. And that's the biggest issue, in my opinion. And I don't know what's happening in KC department because there is some stuff in the whatever.
Backstage, yeah.
Yeah, something is happening over there. So I don't know how it is tough for him, right? Because sure, with Niski being a sub, I don't know what's influencing him in this, but yeah, and I also think Chaik is Chaik has very, very improved in my opinion. I think he's a very good, very stable player. I think if there's a player in LEC right now that I would count as in like being 10 CS per minute at 20, for example, almost every game, it would be like Caps and him, in my opinion. I think he's very good in being decent in the game. Just the problem with him sometimes is like he gets these leads, but he doesn't carry the game. So it's kind of the opposite of Vladi, in my opinion. So I don't know. Depends how Vladi wakes up on the day, I think, because I still think he's the better mid laner. So yeah.
Interesting. That's super interesting insight because, yeah, I know a lot of players that when you give them resources, it feels like that the game is already over because they know exactly how to use them. In contrast to some players, when they get that lead, you don't always feel that same impact. So hearing that is super insightful. So do you guys have a prediction for Vitality versus KC? You've said Vitality are now the best team in the universe. So I'm assuming you're going to back that up with a Vitality prediction.
Honestly, it was a bit obvious, but I think still Vitality came in like 3v2, I think.
You had 3-2 Vitality?
Yes.
And what about you, Jackies?
I'll give Vitality a 3-1.
A 3-1.
I don't think it's gonna go.
Oh my goodness! Wow, are you gonna go with them?
Because I'm not. Just doubt KC like that.
I was not in those scrims. Yeah. I'm not biased.
Yeah, I did.
On stage also, Vitality won against KC. So.
True.
Oh, that is true. Yeah. He's got the stage game data to beat us with that.
Stage and scrims. I mean, there's no argument there.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. He may have just, what am I going to do? Because deep down, I just don't trust Vitality. They've let me down too many times. Like, I've been casting their super teams for like 9 years now. I was there in 2016, okay? Like, I've seen the super teams that they try, and they never, only do you remember Jizuke? And it was funny, the old Giants roster was acquired by Vitality, and then they made that cool run all the way up to Worlds. They got 3rd place. That was the best Vitality roster I think we've had, well, for a really long time.
Makes sense, actually,
yeah. I'm trying to go through my head because I think Linces is just the GOAT. I think he's just
really.
I think he's just been class. I think he's so good to watch. So yeah, I don't know. I think I still give an edge to KC, but that is probably just pure bias on the fact that like KC have been good for such a long portion of the year.
It's that inherent trust, I guess, that you believe that they'll get bounced
probably,
back.
Yeah, but I think Vitality have been playing better, so I think that's fair. I think that is tough. So I still want to give the edge to KC, but maybe I'm just
you're gonna put a number on it.
Maybe 3-2 KC. Yeah,
3-2 KC.
Yeah.
You know what? You have convinced me, Noah. I'm going 3-2 Vitality. You've actually convinced me. You've actually done it.
Nice.
Now. They let me down again.
I mean, actually, but for me, it's like 2023, I came, right?
Yeah.
And Vitality Summer got 10th place, and last year they got 9th place and out. But this time they didn't get out, so
that's true.
It's actually different,
It could very well be. Right now, he's like the biggest Vitality merchant I've ever met.
Maybe this is they're still failing in CS though, aren't they? They're still losing in CS.
True. As long as they're losing in CS, they'll be good in League. That's fair. All right, so we have to talk about, we did talk about a bit about G2 Koi. You said, and I quote, G2 is going to stomp them.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to predict a 3-0?
I mean, I think 3-1 because, like, for example, G2 against KC, I think G2 did like really bad draft 2 games, but they won 1 game, but they lost 1 game, so I don't know. I mean, I think, but still 3-1, yeah.
3-1, Jackies.
I'm gonna be boring and agree with no. I think 3-1 because for some reason G2 just wake up on game 1, decide to be LeBlanc led mid top, the most OP champions in the game. So I can see them losing 1 game or something like this, and then just focusing up and destroying them, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, I heard Alyoya say today, 3-0ing a team in Fearless is very hard because you almost always like lose a game to draft. And then I remembered you guys 3-0'd BDS. So I was curious just on that topic if you actually
mean-
agree with Fearless making it hard.
LEC could win 3-0, but he's just making excuse.
Oh, okay. Okay. Fair enough. I appreciate the honesty. Thank you for translating. I appreciate it. All right, so we're getting to the big one. GX versus Fnatic. Obviously, you guys think you're going to win. The question is, what number are you going to put on the table for us?
I want 3-2, I guess.
3-2?
You wanna go to
And
game 5?
It will be more dopamine actually.
Yeah, it's more dopamine.
Imagine you get out there, like you kick them out of worse.
Yeah.
I just wanna go to Madrid.
It's my dream.
He just
Yeah.
wants-
Yeah, it's my
He
dream.
just wants to kick Fnatic out there. I mean, I would say 3-2, honestly.
Mhm.
I mean, I hope to play game 5 against them.
Why you said 3-2 as well?
He's
Because he
just,
thinks I'm
he's just
copying
following me.
Yeah.
He has no idea actually.
But yeah, I mean, I wanna play game 5 against Fnatic, honestly, because I think Poby Chempul doesn't look that big from what I see, at least from what I
Okay.
saw for so far. So
yeah.
game 5 could just be fun, honestly. So
They did play Twitch though. Are you ready for a Twitch bot lane, Noah?
Nah, I'm ready to play Draven actually.
Okay, I like that. That's cool. Yeah.
And maybe no one believe it.
It's called mind games,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
He's got to
yeah,
throw
yeah.
these picks out. Now they're in the heads. Now it's a possibility. Actually, question. Every AD carry I've ever met was a Draven one trick at some point. Are you also a Draven one trick at some point in your career?
No.
No.
No one. Nothing. Never. I think.
Did you ever one trick a champ to challenger?
I was one trick Rengar.
One trick Rengar? Were you the guy that played Rengar Ivan in my game? Like with that?
I mean, I was jungler before 20 lore stuff, so I got first challenger with jungler. Rengar. Then when Rengar was like doing this, you know.
Yeah.
You do it
No, I
again,
remember
actually?
exactly. Yeah, I remember exactly when Rengar did that. Yeah. Okay, so now Dagda, you're not a GX player, so you're allowed to not predict GX. What are you going to go for?
Yeah, I'm unsure. I think for me, Fnatic, the way that they were able to set up in some of these mid games to bring it back against MKOI, I was actually impressed with, because we kind of said at the start, like, this wasn't something that I thought Fnatic had. But I think if your guys' stage games have been a little bit more consistent, and like, because you are so good at getting leads, and then there's just one point where it just kind of goes bad.
No, he's gonna say Fnatic. He's gonna say Fnatic.
I think so. Yeah.
It's fine. It's better,
Yeah.
you know. That's it.
Yeah, I think it will go to 5 games, but I think it'll be Fnatic. I'm sorry, lads.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
think,
have no shame. I think Fnatic's going to 3-1 you. That's what
I mean, it's fair, you know. Like I think everyone
Yeah.
will think like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because to me, I feel like that Fnatic have their fair share of issues, but to me, like, I just think that their team fighting is. I think that they are a more controlled team than you guys are, because to me, the way that you guys play is very much as you described, which is that you play well with a lead. And so if you beat Fnatic early, I fully believe that you can steamroll that game. I have full confidence in your ability to steamroll them. I am not confident that in a best of 5, you can, in all 5 games, consistently get a lead against Fnatic.
Yeah.
That is where my skepticism comes from. And like, I'm down for Isma to prove me wrong. I'm down for you to just shit on Upset and Mickey. That would be
Be a
super
sick
fun
story.
to watch. Yeah. So like, that's where my head is at. But yeah, I'm always open to being wrong. So far, Group B has they've just lost everything. Right now there's all the teams from Group B in the bottom,
Except G2.
except G2, yeah, who's currently sitting at the top. So yeah, that's my opinion. But at the end of the day, all that matters is how you guys play on stage and what delivers on stage. The scrims won't matter. All that will matter is what delivers on the day. And it's great to hear that you guys have this confidence. And honestly, I'm just super happy for you, especially Noah, because like we followed your journey from the beginning of your career up until now. We know all the struggles that you went through alongside Fnatic, and to now have the opportunity to knock Fnatic out of Worlds, that's a really awesome story. And yeah, I mean, I hope that for your story that you get to live that opportunity and get to make stuff happen. And
Thank you.
yeah, it would be fun to watch for sure. So
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, thank you so much. Is there anything you guys want to say to any GX fans that are listening, or any fans, or anyone you give a shout out to?
Yeah, I mean, I think GX fans really want to see us to go worse and like win something, you know. So I mean, this is high chance for us to prove and show. So I mean, always thank you for support us, you know. And I hope we can show like our things and make happy you. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, as Noah says, right? I think GX fans are. I'm gonna follow you, okay? Can I follow you? I mean, GX fans are. I mean, I'm here in 2 years, kind of right now, and I think GX fans are kind of amazing because I think even if I was doing bad or something, they were there to kind of support me. So, and I think even for Noah, I think the GX fans helped a lot. You can agree, right? Yeah. So I think, yeah, they're amazing, and we're gonna finally give them the win because in VCT they did, and we're gonna put League team in Worlds too, so they can be happy. And yeah, and shout out to my beautiful girlfriend, of course, or I'm gonna get shot. So.
Okay, no. With love, you mean, of course, with love, of course, naturally, yeah. No, I appreciate you guys. I mean, the last time we saw you in Madrid, the crowd was amazing, right? Like you guys seem to get a stage buff when you were there, and I hope you guys get that opportunity. Of course, the competitive year is a tough one. And one best of 5 will determine everything. So I wish you gentlemen the best of luck. Any closing words, Dagda?
No, I mean, I'm just looking forward to bangers. The rest of playoffs looks absolutely sick. So yeah, looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward. Thank you so much to both of you for joining us on the podcast. This has been episode 20 of the EUphoria podcast. And we have to give a big shout out to our sponsor, ExpressVPN. You can head over to expressvpn.com/LEC to get your 14-day free trial, plus subscribe to get free Hextech chess and keys right now. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.